Stay right where you are.
Extra chatter for your binge. This is a podcast-exclusive episode of Chatterbinge.
This is Chatterbinge.
Gratitude. It might be argued that it is more than merely giving thanks. It is next-level thankful. An emotion of realization mixed with appreciation and expressed with certainty. But are there levels of gratitude that differ for us as individuals, as we are all different? Caryn, is it like a fingerprint, or is there a rigid template? Can we each feel gratitude in our own way, at our own level, with our own calibration, or is there some rigid definition of gratitude that everyone must adhere to? Is it malleable?
Oh my gosh. Yes, this is going in a direction that I wasn't really thinking of, but that's an interesting question and a perspective. If you're asking me, which I believe you are since I'm the only other person here, I would say, for the moment, aside from our wonderful listeners, I think it is very personal. I mean, gratitude, it's everywhere for the little things, the big things, the little moments that happen in your life, and you just have this quick split second where you realize, oh my gosh, I am grateful for this. That would sort of lead to the conclusion that for each of us, it's very personal. And so there are no two definitions of gratitude, I suppose, that are the same. We're, as you mentioned, of course, we're built differently. We think differently. We have different perspectives. So what I might be grateful for might be that I trapped the feral cat that I was hoping to trap, or, whatever my thing is. And for you, it's a new scented candle that you just received that's giving off the most beautiful scent you've ever smelled. So yeah, there it is. He's holding it up. There's a new candle. I mean, how would you answer that question? It's an interesting sort of way of looking at gratitude.
I think you're onto something in that gratitude is based in perspective. And I think you need perspective to be able to have true gratitude. I once saw a quote that true inner gratitude is the act of appreciating the ordinary as the extraordinary. And I love that because I think it means so much. And I think it drills down to the ultimate definition, because from my perspective, Caryn, it's making the ordinary moments pop in full color and being able to see and appreciate the specialness in everything. And then being able to, I guess, even give respect to what it is that you have and treasuring it a certain way. And in the moment in which you have them, not when they're gone, because when they're gone, it's too late. It's being able to live in the moment. And you and I have talked about that so many times here in so many other different ways. But being grateful in the moment, and that the people and things that you hold dear in that feeling of gratitude, and hopefully that they can feel that you feel that way towards them.
I like that. I don't know if you have felt this, because you're expressing feeling gratitude towards others. But do you have these moments? I've had them very often lately, which I'm so grateful for. There you go. Where I'm just kind of existing in my life, and I have this thought, I'm so lucky. Like I literally have said to myself recently, I love my life. And that is gratitude personified, especially for someone like me who I've tortured myself for so much of my life in terms of being able to appreciate. I have focused, I have the tendency to see the joy, but also see the sadness in life. And I really fully understand that this concept of being grateful really is everything. And it's not about the big things. It's not about, I made a ton of money and I have fancy clothes, which for me would be useless anyway. I'm the worst. But you know what I mean? It's so much about the tiny little moments. And it shapes everything, doesn't it? So to find that in our lives, I know is the most precious gift of all. And I think going back to what you said in the opening, this idea that it means so many different things for so many different people. So if I said to you, what are the things that come to mind when you think of the things that you're grateful for in your life?
I am grateful for a certain amount of stability that is in my life. I have a son who has graduated college, now has started a very nice sports media job with Major League Baseball and is making the amount of money that I wish I was able to make when I was 23 years old when I got out of school. And so there are things developing for him that I'm incredibly grateful for. So that's being grateful for somebody else's good fortune. To know that I do what I need to do, my wife does what she needs to do so that we can maintain stability in the home, to put together a household. I think that's very important as well. I think as you get older and you grow older, because you don't get old, you grow old. And with that age comes experience and a certain amount of perspective. I think you begin to become not just thankful, but grateful for the everyday stable things in your life that maybe when you're in your 20s and 30s you think are quite mundane. But when you get older, you have more of an appreciation for them. And I could hear that in your voice. And when you say you love your life and you enjoy your life. And I think it's a wonderful way to gracefully age in a feeling of pure and total gratitude. And I think you brought something else up that's very, very important. Inner gratitude is a prerequisite for being able to show gratitude to and for others. It's like they say you can't love someone else before you love yourself. I think you can also boil that down for gratitude. If you're taking thankfulness to that level of gratitude, you can't express that for someone else unless you have that inner appreciation and that inner gratitude to yourself. So it's an outward expression of something you need to possess in a very inward way.
I'm laughing because I wish I had $1 for every time we have mentioned the word gratitude right now. And so far, because we're saying it a lot.
Yes.
I need to look up the definition of gratitude and how it differs technically from thankful. But
ask and you shall receive. Here we go.
Oh, I love it. Well, how do those two differ?
All right. According to Gemini AI, this from Google, gratitude is the emotional, cognitive, and actionable practice of recognizing and appreciating the goodness in life, whether through tangible gifts or often intangible kindness from others. It involves acknowledging that the sources of this goodness often lie outside oneself, strengthening social bonds, enhancing emotional well-being, and reducing stress.
And then can you ask Mr. AI or Mrs. AI or Ms. AI, what is the definition technically of thankful? I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, it's why we have multiple computers here in Chatterbinge HQ on the East Coast. This is much less involved. Thankful, pleased, and relieved, or expressing gratitude and relief. But you know what I think that does? It proves what we've been talking about here, that gratitude is much more involved than thankful. Look at all of the stuff that was thrown back at us when I asked what is gratitude. Yet I was given 2 or 3 word definitions for thankful. There is a difference. There is a gradation in the appreciation of being able to go from being thankful to going to full-blown gratitude and being grateful for that. Not just thankful, but grateful. Those are 2 different things.
You said something that really sort of resonated with me, which was what you look for and seek out when you're younger, and that feeling of contentment, which I suppose would lead to this feeling of gratitude, is so different. And absolutely getting older and having a perspective of how short life really is and what is it that you do value. And it really took such a leap for me from some very superficial things, you know, did I get a job? Do I have a hot boyfriend? I don't know, whatever it was, you know.
Wow.
Sounds I don't know. I'm grateful for that. No, I mean, what you start to value as you get older, your health. For me, that was a potential thing that I was not going to have in my lifetime. So talk about gratitude for just being alive. Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with what you value, and that changes so dramatically as we get older.
I want you to play this for him. Ready? Her partner is a hot guy, period. I want you to play that for him at some point when this show comes out next week.
No, I was saying, oh, well, He would be thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
But no, what I was actually talking about is the things I valued in the past. I am not referring to the present, although now I have to. So there you go. That's very funny. No. Do you think, Ed Kalegi,
Yes.
that you can train yourself to have this sense of, again, we're using the word a million times, gratitude? Because I have listened to all kinds of self-help sort of podcasts and seminars, audio seminars, and they talk a great deal about writing in a gratitude journal, making sure that you review your day and go over the things that went right, the things that you appreciate, the things that brought you happiness throughout the day, because it's so easy to focus on all the crap, which I can do. I can fall into that trap. So is it something you can learn?
Yes.
Or expand for yourself?
I think it is. I think it can be. And I think it needs a certain amount of training because it's repositioning your own thinking from your heart, because it's very easy to fall in that trap of all the stuff that goes on all day that is not good, that pulls us away from the inner purpose. But I think it's being able to use moments of gratitude to pull yourself and kind of extract yourself from the bad moments or the not so good moments. And that's what gives you that perspective. And that's what is able to create that ongoing feeling of gratitude, that no matter what bad stuff happens, there's still enough good stuff in your life that you are grateful. The 78th time we've said that in this segment, that it can compensate for that. And it helps you get through. It's almost like self-therapy. And that's a good thing, because if you can at least have that foundation of inner gratefulness, it allows you to be able to handle the hurdles, the roadblocks, the potholes that happen inevitably from day to day.
I appreciate and really am eager for my own being to keep going in that direction and to have more moments in life where I think life is so good. I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's a good place to live.
Yeah.
And actually, this gives me the opportunity to do something that I have not done yet on Chatterbinge. I did this at the end of the old show, and that's a while ago now, that I have, and we have, a lot to be grateful for when it comes to the people that make this show and this entire project what it is now and what it is striving to become. We're several months into this thing we call Chatterbinge now, and we operate in a very crowded media landscape. And I have to thank here on Chatterbinge publicly the people who are very responsible for what you hear consistently every single week. So to our audience out there, I ask for your brief indulgence for just 2 minutes so I can do that, because these are the names of the people that help us do this. So here we go. The people at Audio One who first put Chatterbinge into the world and gave it the foundation that it needed to begin, especially their vice president of programming, Mike Rags. Next, the publicists, the guest bookers who entrust their clients, who are their business. We are pitched every single week on the low end anywhere between 10, maybe 15, 16, 17 guests. And in the weekly format that we are in here right now, I can only use 5 and maybe 6 of them. And even 6 is a stretch in a 2-hour format that's built for both radio and podcasts. The publicists and the bookers grant me an incredible luxury because they believe in what is going on here and that their clients get a fair shake. They promote what they're doing, all that great stuff. And I guess that they think I'm pretty good at this. So in no particular order, here we go. These are the people, and I've got notes here somewhere. All right, here we go. Yeah, just things written on a Post-it note. Charlie Barrett of the Barrett Company in Los Angeles, who a couple of weeks ago put his name on an amazing quote that we used in the show promo and now will sit on our new website once it's released to the world. And he said that Chatterbinge is the long-form audio show that every week delivers a guest lineup on all major audio platforms that rivals any late-night television show. And speaking of late-night TV, Charlie once worked at NBC in Burbank with a guy named Johnny Carson. So that means a lot. Thank you, Charlie. Also, the amazing Art Sears of Pros Pro, Danny Duraney, Dan Harari, Kelly McNeil Yellen, Amy Prenner, Roger Neal, Harlan Bowl, who's been dealing with some physical hardships over the last few days, and we really hope that he's doing well. Terry Cater, Peter Marchese, Ann Pryor, 3 of the biggest book publicists in New York City, Danielle Matlin, Jeff Abraham, Don Collins, my own literary agent, Diane Nine, Lori Jonas, this is a good one, Back in 2018, October of 2018, I sat in Lori Jonas's office on Pacific Avenue in Santa Monica, and I had told her I had this weird idea for this thing called Chatterbinge. This was back when I had the old show. But I wasn't ready for it yet because the concept wasn't fully there, and I hadn't found the right person to do this with yet. So to Lori, I say thank you as well. Lauren Boone from Shimmer Communications. She's been new to the fold, but she's been great so far with some awesome guests. Kevin Goins, the absolutely elegant Angelo Ellerby, who has worked closely with people such as Michael Jackson, Dionne Warwick, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige. He is the person who set up a wonderful conversation between Caryn and Melba Moore a few months back. So, Angelo, I thank you as well. And he and I have been meaning to get a cup of coffee one day in Newark, and we're going to do that soon. Lastly, the PR departments at CBS, Paramount, ABC, ESPN, NBC, the Fox Television Network, HBO, CNN, MSNBC, now MS Now, Lifetime, Amazon, Netflix, Sony Pictures, Hulu, Angel Studios, and Simon & Schuster. That is a big portion of the entire contemporary entertainment and news industries. And they all continue to decide every single week to put their talent here. And they ask to do it. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. There's one other thing. I am incredibly grateful for the person that I share this microphone with and I share these segments with, Caryn Richman, a woman whose work I respect, but as a person I respect even more. You and I have already talked about so many different things on this show. You and I have laughed together. You and I have cried together on this show. It was that segment that Caryn and I did about her recovery from a brain aneurysm, and it is perhaps the most meaningful conversation with impact that I have ever heard in my entire life. So I say to you, I am grateful for you. And and that's it.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I'm crying. And I hate to be a sap, but as far as all the people that bring us these wonderful guests, I couldn't second that more. And I'm such a wimp. Oh my gosh. Emotion is such a weird thing when it just wells up. Listen, you know how thankful and grateful I am to you for giving me this opportunity. And I appreciate your kind words, and I mirror those back to you. There is nobody on this planet that does it as well as you do, as far as I'm concerned. I, could not have thought of anyone better on this planet to hitch. Is the expression hitch my horse to your wagon? Is that the expression? Something where
hitching your horse to my wagon. Isn't it something about hitching your star to my wagon? I don't know if it has anything to do with a horse. You're going equine with it. It's fine. You're getting emotional. If horse gets you through this, use it.
I will always be grateful to you for allowing me to jump in and be your partner in crime, and for teaching me what you have. And it continues to be quite the learning process. So many, many thanks, and great heaps of, one more time, gratitude, Ed Kalegi. Thank you.
All right. See, we took the whole gratitude thing full circle, and it was an opportunity to express true gratitude to those that mean the most for what we do. I'm Ed Kalegi.
And I'm Caryn Richman, and this is Chatterbinge.
This is Chatterbinge
with Ed Kalegi and Caryn Richman.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can always catch our best guest conversations and segments right here on the YouTube home of Chatterbinge.